Hello everyone, and welcome to or back to my channel. This is Origin Gaming, and in this video we are stranded on Spectacle Island, and we're going to see if we can survive and turn this island into a self-sufficient society. I'm playing on survival mode, but the only other rule is that I can't leave the island. The first thing that I did was to begin to loot the nearby buildings for whatever I could find. I crafted some of the materials that I had picked up into Jet, I leveled up from the XP, and put my first perk into Lone Wanderer. After that, I went to the far side of the island to turn on the power in the boat, so I could activate the signal and kick the Mirelurks off the island. I would have no chance against them at this low of a level with so little gear. After activating the power, I waited for the right moment to escape from the Mirelurk Queen and go turn on the signal. I was just barely able to turn on the signal and scare off the Mirelurks before I became their next meal. Now that the Mirelurks were dealt with, I went on a scrapping rampage, collecting as many materials as I could on the island. After all that scrapping, I made a bed and slept in it. The next day, I started placing down posts and scrapping them for XP. This was my main source of XP on the island, and I did this a lot. After a few other things, I continued scrapping at the cargo freighter. After that, I began looting the nearby floating structures, which, for the purposes of this challenge, I'm considering as part of the island. The boats are okay, but permanent land masses outside of the island are not. After looting for a while, I finally found a microscope, which, with its crystals, allows me to build a settlement beacon. Before setting up the beacon, though, I decided to experiment with trapping raiders in order to get their guns, caps, and XP. After capturing a few raiders, I was able to spawn a raid and took care of almost the entire group with a single mini-nuke. Then I finished the survivor with my sniper rifle. I captured 2 more raiders, which I decided to kill individually rather than spawning a whole nother raid, as it would be difficult to deal with the raid now that I had used my 1 mini nuke. Around that same time, I got a settlement beacon going to start attracting settlers to the island. After the first settler showed up, I set up a small farm. Another settler showed up, and I began expanding the farm as crops grew. While working on other things around the island, I caught another raider, which is mainly helpful for XP. I decided to set up a gunner cage as well to attempt to catch some of them. I continually worked on extending the farm as crops grew. Eventually, I caught both a gunner and a raider, which I let loose at the same time, hoping they would damage each other, but the gunner was much more powerful than the raider. I set up a Brahmin cage, and also went on to build a trading hall where I began to put all of the stores that I was making. After a while, I caught my first Brahmin, which would start giving me a steady supply of fertilizer. Next, I started working on a permanent home for myself. After a few more in-game days, I was able to catch a junkyard dog. I also started expanding my trading hall. With the immediate needs of my settlers met, I started doing things to try and raise their happiness. I found out that the most effective way is to just place a ton of workout equipment outside, making my own sort of swole beach. After taking a while to set everything up, and a long time spent AFK, I finally reached 100 settlement happiness, which was my ultimate goal for this playthrough. Although this video is relatively short, the entire playthrough ended up taking me around 12 hours, with a lot of that time being spent simply placing posts down and then scrapping them in order to get XP. This is because I needed to get to level 20 in order to get rank 2 of Cap Collector so that I could make the level 3 stores. I am by no means an expert in building in Fallout 4, but here's my walkthrough of the things that I was able to build during my time on the island. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, and if you'd like to see more of this kind of content, please consider subscribing to the channel so that you'll see the next video when I post it. Thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.